Move over is a state law, been in effect for a while now. Anytime you come up on a utility construction crew, utility crew period, the law states you should move over. If you come up on crews working on a 2-lane road, most of the time the speed limit's gonna be anywhere from 35 to 45 miles per hour. And the crews should have their signs, their cones out, letting you know that something's going on in that area. With the situation like today, we're in a remote area of Lincoln County. But still, it is imperative that we set our signs out and our cones out to protect our workers. Anytime you come up on that situation, please slow down, pay attention to if there's a flagger, to what the flagger's telling you. If not, slow down, pay attention, and ease through the work zone. And if you have to, stop. It's better to stop than to just keep going. If you're on a 4-lane road, most of the time that's gonna be anywhere from 55 to 65 miles an hour. The crews will still have their signs and cones. They'll have their flashing lights on as well. Just slow down, try to get over. If you cannot get over, slow down and ease through the work zone. And it's always best if you can kind of make eye contact with one of the workers. There should be somebody watching, and that way they see you coming, you see them, and everybody knows what's going on in the work zone. The work that we do, no matter what department, is very intense. The least little thing could cause a major accident. So we expect our guys, our employees, to be attentive to what's going on all the time. You know, the least little thing, like I said, can cause an incident, and that's what we're trying to prevent. So if you come up on a work zone and you can't make eye contact with one of the workers on the ground, slow down, take your time, pay attention, and if you have to stop, just stop. Because what they're paying attention to may be life-threatening, not counting the traffic. Anytime you roll up on one of our work zones, there's always going to be somebody on the ground. We cannot go out of the cradle, off the ground without somebody else with us. We're predominantly working on 7200 volts or 14.4 volts. We have both in our system. Most of the time it's going to be either of those two distribution voltages in our system. So, you know, and it takes, depending on the situation, whether it's storm work or routine construction work, it still takes a lot of attentiveness to know what's going on. From one little slight move could make the difference. Every move you make when you're doing this type of work matters. The least little wrong movement can cause an accident. And of course, that's what we're trying to prevent. That's the reason for all the PPE, that's for all the traffic control. PPE is personal protective equipment. Each of our employees has their own personal equipment. Then we have crew equipment, you know, that the whole crew uses. It is imperative that they use that. It's imperative that they got their mindset right to where they use that and don't have to be worried about traffic flying by all the time. So it's a big help when traffic control is set up, if the traffic pays attention to what we have going on. You know, you might be on a pole and everything's fine, and the next thing you know, something you didn't see, you know, something around behind the pole or something. You know, you've really got to pay attention to every little detail because all it takes is just one little mishap and it gets bad.
Yeah, it helps us when you come up on the job site is to slow down and not, you know, if you see us, just slow down, because some people are busy and they step out, maybe out beside the truck and you could hit them. When you come up on a job site, there'll be some of them on the ground and then some in the bucket. And sometimes they're busy and try to get stuff off the truck, and sometimes they ain't paying attention to you and they step out in the lane. So be careful when you come up on the job site and see if you pay attention to the people on the ground. If you can, make eye contact with them and make sure nobody else is coming around the truck. If you can't, please slow down. Yes, we all have families we'd like to get back to in the evening. When you come up on a job site, just a few seconds of your day just to slow down. It won't take just a second and you'll be through the job site and you can ease on again. We'll appreciate it if you move over. Thank you.
when you're coming through a work zone, slow down as much as possible. 5, 10, 15 miles an hour. Like I said, please try to make eye contact with one of the workers on the ground, or at least notice what they're doing. Don't go too fast where you can't pay attention to somebody accidentally stepping out in front of you. So as long as you can control it and stop it when you need to, you should be fine. But just ease through the work zone and try to pay attention to what we have going on. I made mention earlier of the guy being on the ground and we can't go up without somebody else there with us. The guy on the ground always has different responsibilities. He might be having to watch traffic. He may be having to get a piece of equipment out of the truck for the gentleman in the bucket. He may have to pull a guy wire. You don't ever know. So he's got to watch several different things on the ground, plus the guy in the bucket, to make sure everything's good with him. You can always see more from the ground than you can in the bucket, so they're always paying attention to what's going on in the air.